Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, the latest in a long line of NFL QBs from USC.
Tell you what, partner, he might just be a rookie, but he certainly looks the part of a veteran NFL starter, and he carries himself like one leading the offense out there. In a lot of ways, he is advanced as a first-year quarterback, and he came in and was right at home with this offense.
There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To the air, Williams. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. To throw, it's Williams. Complete on the quick throw to Moore. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Looking to throw is Williams. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. To throw once more, here's Williams. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
Well, they're not hiding who their central focus is on offense. Charles, he already now has 4 receptions here on this opening drive.
And I know people who are watching the game are thinking, did they forget about him in the defensive game plan? But it's actually been the opposite. They're giving him a lot of attention, but he's been very creative and savvy in his route running and finding seams and openings in order to create these completions.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Swift. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
To throw, Williams. And that's out to the flat for Swift. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. Here's Williams. That is caught, and he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Williams. Steps away. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Only a short game there, but that's okay if you're the offense. They brought a lot of pressure at him, and he uses athleticism to at least get back to the line and make 2nd down a lot shorter than it was looking for a moment.
Here's 2nd and 7. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Williams. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate that feels pretty condensed. But that was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up a 1st down.
Here's Swift. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. DeAndre Swift taking it in from a yard out. And the Bears put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
This guy's leadership is so important to how this offense functions. He doesn't shrink from any moments on game day, and everything he does with confidence. He sets the example in practice, off the field, and is the guy leading everyone out for each possession.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
It may be only a gain of 3 yards, but that back, he deserves a lot more credit on the play. That could have easily been stopped at the line, but his vision and his determination found some space to turn it into that modest gain.
From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7. Goff now looking to throw. That's caught. It's Sam Laporta. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius. Understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball. And puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Gone. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it'll be second down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve, and that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
Here's second and 10. Now it's Goff. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. T.J. Edwards, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they will advance this across midfield, but still well shy of a first as he's tackled at the 47. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Here's Jack Fox on to punt. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Here's a handoff to Swift. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now it's Swift. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 42 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Quick throw there is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. On play action, here's Williams. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Back to the running game with Swift. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22. Going quickly out wide to Moore. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's second down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
This is a 2nd and 4, ball at the 9. This will be caught just inside the 10. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. They'll look to throw again. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, that's one way you take away a first down as a defender. Make sure you have a little bit of physical play when the ball gets to the receiver. Find a way to jostle it free. They caught him off guard, forced the incompletion.
Santos' kick is up and through. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Now Goff. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. From the 41, here's 2nd and 5. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there and a first down. But you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. The Lions with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back to throw, Goff. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Goff. His throw incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Now Goff. Got his man. It's Williams. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Jack Fox now. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. The Bears offense and DJ Moore headed back onto the field. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points.
But
and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
After this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
They run out of the gun with Swift. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
2nd down and a yard. Off the play fake, it's Williams. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Once again, it's Swift. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 67 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
He'll find Swift out of the backfield. They'll give him 4 yards there, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Play action. Now Williams. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Swift going to try up the middle, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
Right back to Swift again on second down. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. To throw, it's Williams. Buying time to his left. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
On 3rd down, he obviously wants to throw the football, but there's nowhere to go with it, so he takes off and goes. And now as he gets to the 1st down marker, he blows right past it and picks up big yardage. Partner, that's a great bit of improvisation.
They'll fake the give. Now Williams. Looking left side, and it's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there at 22.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Now they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Off the bootleg, it's Williams. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Derek Barnes, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
So 1st down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Swift. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This is caught. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. They'll go. Here's Williams. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Bears go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
So from the 37, here's second down and 2. In motion right, that's Williams. Goff now looks to throw. It's complete to Williams. That one a first down pickup of 8.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Hand off to Gibbs, headed right here. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Gibbs straight ahead. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36. It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Goff, throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. Short completion, just 4 yards. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Here's Goff. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. 91 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
To throw, Williams. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Here's Williams. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
They went to their big-bodied tight end on second down in hopes that he could plow his way to a first down. But they were ready for him defensively and ended up holding him to a modest gain.
2 yards still to go. Third down now. Looking to throw is Williams. That is incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here comes the Bears punter now. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. Taken in at the 22. It's a net of 40 there. Punt of 48 and a return of 8. And they will take over first and 10. And the Lions going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Second and 10. Gone. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Goff now to throw. That is caught. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Goff throwing again. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Third and 3. To throw is Goff. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field.
From the left hash, this from 37. And this one is right through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. Now maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. (17-3) the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll start things off with a give to Gibbs, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
I would think as a play caller, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end, any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was, because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Goff. He gets this out wide to Gibbs. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Here's Goff. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. And this will be taken at the 13. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Bears take over. The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Swift. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Throwing is Williams. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. To the air, Williams. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 13. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. This defense tough to run against, and those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get him for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the 2nd level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Goff now looking to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter and the entire 4th remaining. So, stranger things have happened.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down. on the give. Here's Gibbs. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Goff. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. This is taken at the 15. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The home team's offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he's been the focal point of this offense. And when you get a performance like this, you can almost invariably add that the offensive line play has also been stellar. And that's definitely been the case here. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tend to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Williams. That's complete. Romadunze. A gain of 8 there on the play. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call, because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Williams. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he will have the Bears first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
And if they're throwing on 3rd down, it's a good bet. They're going to look his way. He's the most reliable of their receivers, and he comes through there with a nice grab for the first down.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Swift. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. Really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's the 2nd and 9. From the gun, here's Swift. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
He'll get this off to Swift. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Here's a handoff to Swift. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 137 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. They'll look to throw here on first down. That's complete right side to Kmet. And the Bears are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Swift diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Santos now to add the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Now Goff. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 5. Open man, that's Patrick. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
To the air again, Goff. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now Goff. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Into the hands of Patrick left side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Out of the gun, Goff. That's complete to Laporta. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
He'll find Williams on the slant. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
2nd and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Great call to hand that one off, and his running back did the rest.
Someone read their keys correctly, and on the defensive side of the ball, they certainly did not, because they really essentially were just going to swarm the quarterback. They kind of guessed themselves out of the play, and guess who benefited? The guy with the football.
The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After reviewing the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
Montgomery, they'll run with Montgomery. And everyone on their assignment defensively there as he'll be taken down behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
This is a tough situation offensively because down 3 scores, the field goal kicker's not even going to come into play here. As an offensive play caller, though, you know you have to take chances. This is a time to get creative.
Now it's gone. And it's caught. Touchdown. Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the Lions have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Bears offense and running back DeAndre Swift headed back onto the field. And as we roll through some of the highlights, we see how crucial he's been to their success in this one. When he's in this type of a groove and his offensive linemen are creating running lanes for him, he can really put on a show, and he's done so here. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. On play action, here's Williams. A pass complete to Odunze. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now a carry for Swift. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 3rd and 4 now. They'll go play action here with Williams. That is caught. They find some open field here. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 23. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection. They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Play action. Now Williams. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Alex Anzalone coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. They run out of the gun with Swift. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
On is Santos for the Bears field goal. This to make it a 3-score game late. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the 4th quarter. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive, because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 5. Here's Goff. Throw left side complete. That's Patrick. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A gain of 37.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. He was trying to turn the corner, but he will go nowhere. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Brock Wright, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Lions are able to cut into that deficit. So, Charles, they had him double covered in the end zone. It still was not enough.
I wonder if they're thinking to themselves now, 2 didn't work. Do we go for 3 guys on him next time? Because he fought through all that extra attention, got himself into a great position where his quarterback felt confident enough to challenge the coverage and threw it his way. What a big-time play right there, both by the quarterback trusting him and by him going up and getting it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. 5 plays there on that drive, and the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Swift going to try up the middle. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Once again, it's Swift. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll run right here with Swift. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
And this is going to be incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here's Goff and the Lions. Down by 13, 55 seconds remaining. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a first down. To throw is Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Play action. It's Goff. Under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bears get the win at home as we say so long from Soldier Field.